Hello and welcome to the Bot Box. Hands up if you're expecting a spinner. Okay, I can't actually see you right now. You can see me, but I can't see you. But if you do have your hand up, prepare to not to be disappointed. Also prepare not to be disappointed if you're expecting a spinner and didn't put your hand up. Because the Revolutionist is indeed a 40 spinner, and being American had a spirally version of the US flag painted on. The Revolutionist made its debut in the American series Robot Wars Extreme Warriors, where the Revolutionist spent most of its fighting time. It did make an appearance in Robot Wars Extreme, but all of its fights got aired in the US. Most of its fights did not make it to air in this country. The Revolutionist made its debut in the Civil War episode, where, this is going to be awkward, it represented the Confederacy, being from the South, Florida specifically, and faced Grabberbot Sobek. Sounds like Sobek could be a name for a Vulcan in Star Trek, actually. Anyway, the Revolutionist started off to one side so it could spin up, and took out the tyre that Sobek had put in its robot's drawer because reasons. Maybe they were hoping the tyre would cause the Revolutionist to break itself. Anyway, the Revolutionist hit Sobek a couple of times before inexplicably stopping spinning. Sobek tried to nudge the Revolutionist into a corner but failed, and instead got attacked by Sergeant Bash. Sobek got out to nudge the Revolutionist, pursued by Sergeant Bash, which Sergeant Bash was not supposed to do. The Revolutionist was lucky not to get sniffed at by the house robots, as it was stationary for a worrying amount of time, and time ran out soon afterwards. The judges ruled in favour of Sobek. Next up was the US Championship, where the Revolutionist faced Sobek again, Horizontal Spinner Coffin Bot, Pincer Bot, Bot Ugly, Spike Flipper Tricerabot, and Horizontal Spinner Stroke Lifter Unibite. These names! People come up with names like these. Anyway, the Revolutionist was shoved by Tricerabot early on. It was out of focus after this, not helped by Revolution failure in its weapon. It was not spinning. The Revolutionist started pushing robots around, which, given that it's round, is not a tactic it was suited for. First of all, it went for Sobek. Then it hit Unibite before sending Coffinbot to a corner. Tricerabot was next, but Tricerabot was a bit more of a fighter. And time ran out whilst they collided for a second time. And the judges were called in. They ruled in favour of the Revolutionist. Next up was a lifter, the Brute. The Revolutionist spun up right from the start, so the Brute had no idea what hit it when the Revolutionist hit the Brute. After a few hits, the Brute was dead, and its right front tyre was at a weird angle. It was like, and the rest of the wheels were like that. The Brute was counted out and left to the house robots, and got pitted by Matilda. So in the final, the Revolutionist faced Panzer Mark something. It was 2. Anyway, the Revolutionist spun up right away, but Panzer was having none of that, sending the Revolutionist to Circulot, and then Dead Metal. The Revolutionist managed to escape both times, but Panzer sent the Revolutionist straight back to Dead Metal, and got on the wrong end of a saw attack, which is never fun. Panzer got the Revolutionist out of there, which was nice of them, but then flipped the Revolutionist. The Revolutionist could not self-right, so dead metal pitted the Revolutionist. Next up was the Second World Championships in Robot Wars Extreme, where the Revolutionist faced Crusher Razor, Irish fairy lifter Dietor, and German spearbot Flensburger Power. The very, very sequiny costumes of the Revolutionist team went down very well with the pit reporter. Anyway, to battle. Razor went after the Revolutionist at once, and the Revolutionist gained a hole. Dietor finished off Flensburger Power pretty quickly, so Razor went after the Irish bot, and very suddenly time ran out on the battle. In this case of first Razor put a hole in the Revolutionist, or they put two holes in the Revolutionist. Then they tried to cook Dietor, then suddenly the clock's running out. The judges were called in. Razor was the robot to go through. I just think that was quick to go the distance. What in the name of Mjolnir happened? Anyway, back to Extreme Warriors, and time for the second series, where the Revolutionists landed in Heat D and faced a lifter and a flipper, the Gap and Trackzilla. This is not a nice draw for the Revolutionist. It still couldn't self-right. The Revolutionist hung back to spin up, and once it did, the Gap had already flipped the tracked bot known as Trackzilla. So the Revolutionist hit the Gap and tangled with the kilowatt, which is not entirely wise. Trackzilla got counted out, so that meant the Gap and the Revolutionist, which by that point was barely alive after tangling with the kilowatt, got through. Next up was vertical spinning blade wielder Psycho Chicken. Who names these bots? Psycho Chicken? Anyway, it took 5 hits for the Revolutionist to tear Psycho Chicken and its 6 wheels asunder and send Psycho Chicken to shunt. The pit was opened via Psycho Chicken, which, well, flat out couldn't move. Shunt axing Psycho Chicken didn't help. The Revolutionist hit Psycho Chicken one more time before Shunt cooked Psycho Chicken. Psycho Chicken did fly. It flew out off of it. Next up was horizontal bar spinner Propeller Head in the Heat Final. The two bots emptied into a cycle, spinning up and then colliding, though it was a case of hang back, get back up to full speed, then collide. They never stopped spinning. This spin cycle, if you will, abruptly ended when the Revolutionist tore Propeller Head's spinner clean off. The Revolutionist then opened the pit that Propeller Head was sitting on. Propeller Head managed to dodge doom by driving off the pit, and after a brief tussle, the Revolutionists went down into the pit. Ouch! Ouch! They had that! Ouch! Anyway, it's time to go over to probably one of the least talked about Robot Wars series, the Nickelodeon series, and some international tag team terror. The Revolutionist was paired with horizontal spinner, a spin doctor, and faced two of the spinners, Runaway and Zanzara. Spin Doctor went out first and hit Zanzara. The Spin Doctor very quickly tagged the Revolutionist, which went after Zanzara. Zanzara didn't fare too well. It got hit until it died. Runaway came out to rescue its teammates and, well, it also died. Both robots got counted out, attacked by house robots. Flew air, floor flipper, and Runaway even got pitted. So that sent the Revolutionist and Spin Doctor through to the final, where they faced two British bots, Flipper Rick and Crusher Ming 3. Spin Doctor went out to face Ming 3, but after getting into difficulties but landing a hit, Spin Doctor tagged the Revolutionist. Ming 3 tagged Rick, and after trading blows, Rick flipped the Revolutionist. Again, the Revolutionist cannot self-right. Ming 3 then rocked up and put a hole in the Revolutionist. I think the tag team terrorist rules did not make it to filming. I think they may well have ended up in the Milwaukee Depth. For those of you who don't know, that's the deepest part of the Atlantic Ocean. Who needs these? That didn't travel far at all. Anyway, Spin Doctor showed up and, well, it hung out with the angle grinder and didn't do much else. So Killot illegally removed Rick from the arena, and the Revolutionists got counted out as time ran out on the battle. Again, very quickly. The judges ruled in favour of Rick and Ming 3. Next up was the Mayhem, where the Revolutionists faced Axe Spot Rigby and Spinner Discotheque of Spinner of the Vertical Persuasion. I did notice the Hypnodisc cameo, very nice Hypnodisc cameo. It's such a shame that it was not trashing robots and being trashed by Sir Killot instead, it being used in Sir Killot's introduction. Anyway, the Revolutionists took out Discotheque in 2 hits. Rigby was next, and it too got taken out and suffered a rather large amount of armour damage. Both bots got counted out, but Discotheque came back to life after flying air floor flipper. So the Revolutionists took Discotheque out for the second time. Anyway, the Revolutionists made the ultimate mayhem, the final of the mayhem, against Propeller Head and a lifter, Vertigo. The Revolutionists brought an entanglement device to the party, spun up, took 1 hit from Propeller Head, and died. So the Revolutionists got turned over, flew air floor flipper, and got to have a pit party with Vertigo, which fared about as well as the Revolutionists did. Though, technically it did fare a bit better, it took a few more hits before it went down. But the lack of any further series of American Robot Wars and Extreme Warriors prevented any more fights with the Revolutionist. Flawed but destructive, it's a shame that only one of the Revolutionists' fights made it to air in the UK, because it could be brutal. It's showing in Robot Wars Extreme 1 didn't show the Revolutionists' true capabilities. I do think it was really unlucky to lose against Propeller Head that first time. The Revolutionist team, they've actually been mixed up in Robot War combat as recently as this last series of BattleBots. And their robot, well, I'll just say 2 words here. Captain Shredderator. Yep, another full body spinner. Can't self-right. And has a similar Very, very American theme. Anyway. Oh, also, Captain Shreddy did once set a robot on fire. Right. And a good one too. Anyway. Who's next? Taiki, please be kind. Let's hope I don't get the bomb sound effect this time. Okay, we finished this episode where we started with Awkward. Next week's robot is called Napalm. Who names these bots again? Until next week, Callison244 out.